everyone, I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
Well, thanks for having me once again. My name is Jonathan Harris. You can call me by my stage name, Big Jon. I'm a hip hop artist born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm 32 years old. I've been writing songs since I was 16 years old, and I've had a history of performing, writing songs in front of events during my time in high school, in front of major church events that I had growing up over the years in my early years of college. And I stepped aside from music because I was in Towson University in Towson, Maryland, and I got my bachelor's degree in media production back in 2019. And I've been working in broadcasting in Sinclair for about 6 years now. But after going through a lot of hurdles and various frustrations with the job search and the work environment, I decided to go back to my passion with songwriting and with music. So last year I worked on an EP, and it was released early this year, and you can currently stream it on Spotify and Apple Music. And I've just been working really hard all year, making connections, getting published on PR articles, getting interviewed on podcasts, including this one today, frequently, and just working hard to, continue to build more connections and put a team together, get some management to support me and what I need to help get me to the next level and to really make my name for myself in the music industry.
Wow, you've been busy.
Yeah, it definitely has been a hurdle, that's for sure. And it definitely has taken some emotional tolls based on some
hmm
setbacks and stuff that I wanted to do but hasn't happened, especially since we're going into September, which I
hmm
can't believe 2025 has gotten by so quickly, though.
I
It's just
know.
crazy with everything that we went through all this year, including what's going on in Minnesota. My hearts and prayers goes out to the family and victims that have been affected by this terrible tragedy. It's
Yeah.
just life takes you places that you least expect, and just navigating through without hurting myself emotionally and financially, which I guess is part of the journey.
Yeah, nothing, not a part of the journey anyone wants to have to deal with, but
Yeah, especially when you have high expectations for yourself and what I want to do for not just for myself, but for my family, my friends, the city of Baltimore, and for many artists who are new or still ongoing. Based on stories I heard, how they had to deal with issues in the record labels and how their masters being taken away from them. They're not getting the loyalty they want.
hmm
I definitely want to feel like I want to pay contributions to that, though, as a strong voice and also a leader of men, because I also have strong leadership qualities. I feel that if you do the right thing and not feel pressured, and you have the right to know something before you even sign to a contract, agree to something, or send money up front, though, I definitely feel like you have the right and entitled to understand what you're getting yourself into
hmm
before you go along with it, because some people out there are just in it for the money and here to take
Yep.
advantage of you, and that's something I'm just trying to be extremely careful about.
Yeah. Unfortunately, greed does exist.
Yeah, yeah, and also lack of direction too, because I'm also the type of guy, though, and this is just coming from my personal
hmm
experiences, not just with music, but also like I also want to make sure that what I'm doing and investing is going to work, because
Yep.
I'm all about using my money wisely, but not spending it and not getting results. Despite people saying, "Hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do
hmm
that," but if you're not telling me how to do so, because I also have a different way of learning things to get more comfortable with something that
Yeah.
I may know or may not know or want to know more, or just again being cautious. Though, if you're not going to be upfront, some people I definitely encountered some managers or assistants like out there on social media saying like, "What's your budget?" But it's like, why can't you just tell me up front and saying like how this is going to work out like this? So, because I know what I need, but if you're not going
hmm
to answer my questions or have the type of behavior, then I'm sorry, we cannot work with each other,
Right.
because that type of communication and leadership, especially with how I want to go with my goals, while also understanding how some of the stuff works the right way,
hmm
then yeah, but I can't work with people who have that type of behavior because, like I said before, there's definitely a lot of people out there who have the type of agendas for themselves.
Yeah. You got to make sure that you surround yourself with the right team.
I
And that
couldn't
takes
agree
time.
more. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Which has definitely been the major frustration. And early this year, though, where I thought I had some stuff in place, or I was talking to the right to people that wanted to work with me and help build a foundation and get my name out there in the music world, only to say, "Sorry, we're going to go in a different direction," and
Oh,
just let me hanging. And definitely took a toll on me mentally, not gonna lie. So that's why I've been going to therapy the last couple of weeks, though, just to share my frustration and my voice because I've been extremely passionate about this, only for these setbacks to unfold,
mm-hmm.
which I was really hoping for big expectations and goals for this year. And while we're still in the fourth quarter of 2025 and the year's not over yet, though, I feel like it should have happened sooner than later, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean. Especially since I've been posting content on Facebook. Well, not more on Facebook, but Instagram and TikTok. And I've been getting some traction, but not
Mm-hmm.
like on a fast virality level, which for me, when it comes to my music, I'm all about quality over quantity and not like a one-off viral gimmick where, hey, this person is hit up huge at one point, but then they fall off because it's of a trend that
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't even get this popular, if you know what I mean. Because we definitely see
Yeah.
them a lot in music.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they do say it takes what, an average of like 5 years to make it big.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so, though. I mean, whether it's true or not, though, or luck, I don't know, but to be quite honest, though,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely a lot of mixed messages, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to figure out because I feel like there are some artists who just like that first song they put out there, then everything else after that is just amazing. Some artists, it takes time.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely seen it, though, where their work definitely leads more long term than like fast success right away, and then
Mm-hmm.
the success kind of dwindles.
Yeah. You got to start and build that base to get bigger and
Yeah,
bigger.
you're absolutely right about that, and definitely keeping that goal in mind and pushing forward to where I want to be in the future. That's for certain.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling with that, start having to start so small?
For my personal experience, I would normally say talk to or interact with different groups that understands your point of view,
Mm-hmm.
that who are in music or even if they're not in music, just kind of share your frustrations about what you're going through and how you're trying to build yourself with limited resources. And don't feel pressured by people saying like, hey, you have to put out this and so money
Mm-hmm.
because, don't drain your wallet because you're going to be in financial debt, financial
Yeah.
struggles, and because again, I even encountered some person who was an A&R apparently, and he was telling me in order for me to gain virality, I had to pay over 30 grand, which I
Ooh.
found to be really ridiculous. Though I'm like, are you serious right now? That's just a waste of money. And again, you need that money to pay your own bills.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste it on some on advice because that to me is terrible advice, and that person is definitely the person you want to be working with
Yeah.
because I definitely feel that there's a better way of investment without draining your wallet and paying a heavy amount of money that's not going to give you the results long
Mm-hmm.
term, because
Yeah.
it's just not a good way to do things for your career and for your financial well-being. That's definitely for
Yeah.
certain because some of the stuff I'm paying for is coming out of my paycheck that I'm still working in with the Sinclair. So I'm definitely paying everything on a regular basis so I can use the money that I need to save money, pay my
Mm-hmm.
bills, and just do be wise about it though, because
Yeah.
you
You
gotta
got
be
to take care
smart.
of yourself.
Exactly. You gotta spend wisely, and again, and also the more you make connections, the more I feel you can definitely build yourself. And I
Mm-hmm.
have been doing that as well. I went to a networking event at my alma mater, Towson, and I'm going to a music industry event in Baltimore downtown in the Fells Point area. That's where they have a lot of public events down there
Mm-hmm.
as well, and I got invited to go there to meet some industry connections with managers,
Nice.
promoters, and whatnot. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. So again, like I said before, find people that are going to support you and share with them like what you went through, what I'm currently going through right now, in order to get the results that I need. But do it smartly and
Mm-hmm.
be aware of what kind of situation, like financial debt or using the wrong type of promotion materials to get you in that type of hole. Because one of the things I learned earlier this year that I was trying to do that kind of backfired, that was working a bit though. When I was promoting my music and I upload on Spotify, I was using like third party sites that to help get more streams and more
Mm-hmm.
playlists, promote playlists on pitches and whatnot. Though it was working at first, but then it got flooded with bots, and after that,
Oh.
I stopped using that because apparently Spotify doesn't do that and everything. And luckily, the music I still have is there, but I just been focused on like getting on podcasts and getting my
Mm-hmm.
music published articles until I can find the right people to know how we can do this better, because that's definitely a thing that I need help with and know I need more support with that right there, because for number one, I don't want to hurt my credibility as an artist.
Right.
Number two, again, be careful of what
Mm-hmm.
you spend, that it's not going to work, because I definitely know that there's more to the table out there to get your music to different platforms, to get different playlists and whatnot, and get more streaming numbers without having to do these things that can hurt you in the end.
Yep. Yeah. You want to stay away from the things that will hurt your career.
Absolutely, and I was definitely told to do that by my producers. But after that experience, I made some adjustments and changes, and again, to
Mm-hmm.
focus more on articles, which I definitely been getting a lot published on, like 24 Hip Hop, Miami City Weekly, Hip Hop California. So I definitely
Nice.
been getting some exposure, slowly but surely, and more people have been reaching out to me about wanting to use my music for their content on Instagram. One guy used my music, Rise Again, for some NBA highlights, and some people are still reaching out to me to this very day for more article coverages. So I definitely am starting to get more of that though. And while it's not like millions and millions of followers, I definitely believe, like I said before, the more network connections you have and the more people they can get you to the next step and everything, I definitely feel that you could turn hundreds or thousands into millions within an instant if you just do things the right way and also
Yeah.
protect yourself financially and mentally as well.
Of course. Definitely. Yeah. I'm glad that you're, gaining that traction. That's awesome for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Really do.
Yeah. So, with being a hip hop artist, what are some of your main inspirations behind your music?
Sure. Well, growing up, when I was entering in middle school, I wasn't really into the hip hop genre and everything like that. But my old English teacher, who was also a rapper himself, two of
Oh.
them actually, they inspired me to listen to more hip hop artists like Lil Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
Ludacris, Eminem,
Yep.
yeah, 50 Cent. What else we got? 50 Cent, Jay Z, Kanye West during the early days of their careers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started listening to the music for the first time and everything, because also I got into hip hop and R&B back when I was in fifth grade, and their music really stood out to me, and I just enjoyed listening to music all the time. And even while I am from the Black Eyed Peas and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that, though, so that's also another group I used to listen back in the day. Even went to a concert of theirs when their album came out, The End, back in
Ooh.
2010. When they were in Baltimore one time, my mom took me to see a concert for a birthday surprise, and that was a lot of fun right there because I loved listening to the album back when it first came out, and when I
Mm-hmm.
was in high school. And when I got when I turned 16 years old back in 2010, after listening to the music for so long, I all of a sudden just had this passion to write my own lyrics. So around the summertime, I was taking piano lessons, and while I was doing that on the side, I just started writing my lyrics, and I even showcased it to a couple of friends of mine, even my
Mm-hmm.
family, and they really liked it. They really did. And when I was continuing to press piano while I was doing okay, I wasn't really enjoying it that much, though.
Mm-hmm.
To be quite honest with you, though, I just writing lyrics more was more engaging
Yeah.
of my style, and it's just something that I love to do more, especially when it comes to telling stories based on like life struggles, hobbies, and just wanting to bring the type of strong energy vibes to the crowd that can relate to, that has a
Mm-hmm.
meaning. Like Eminem, he's definitely favorite hip hop artists when it came to his songs like "Not Afraid," "Stan," "Clean Out My Closet," "When I'm Gone,"
Hmm.
"Love the Way You Lie." Those deep emotional songs that really stands out and tells actual stories, but also the fun ones like "Just Lose It," "Godzilla," "The Real Slim Shady," even songs like Ludacris does like "How Low." Those type of funny songs also
Yeah.
have like some good energy to it though, but also can be like laid back and everything like that. And that's what I've been doing with one of my new songs I'm that I just finished writing about a few hours ago, and I'm going to
Ooh,
record it next week in New York City. So I'm really excited for that though. It's called Level Up, and it's definitely about video games and video game related. I definitely think you'll like it when it comes out. Hopefully in a few months, I'll probably do like a little lyric video for that though. I'm posting on Instagram or TikTok, so should be a lot of fun.
that's exciting. So yeah, so you're working on some new music?
I am because I mean I'm working on Level Up. It's already been written. I'm going to record it next
Hmm.
week in New York. And normally when it comes to the recording process, though, I pay for like mixing, mastering, recording. So I kind
Yep.
of do like a biweekly process and everything like that. And it's still looking to getting more article published about me on some magazines that want to interview me. So
Yeah.
again, just managing my budget while also saving up some money and everything
Hmm.
like that. Though, so I'm definitely going to look out for that once I feel like I'm in a good position to do these things and release it whenever I'm ready. But I also have a couple of new songs in mind, though. One song I got coming up, I want to make in a couple of weeks or months. So it's called Persona, which is basically showcasing myself as a person. Where on one side I'm quiet, I'm kind of introverted
Hmm.
and a low by person, but when I'm on the stage performing, I'm a completely different person, like a different personality. Like, see what I mean by persona? Just
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
you're not shy and quiet right now.
Exactly. That's the whole point of persona right there. And I definitely think like whenever I hire somebody to create a beat for me, it was something that I feel like, hey, I can write this down. I can do it like this though. I can go with what flow I like, and if I feel like I can write it down though, then let's do it.
I like that. So what does the songwriting process typically look like for you?
Well, for me, again, after the beat is done, I use like different sources until like my producers or song or beat makers like, hey, I want to use how they make this type of song, but use it as originality and not like sample and don't use samples because I'm not a sample person and everything
Hmm.
like that though. I don't like to steal people's other music and everything
Yeah.
like that though. So I usually just once that track is done and I like what I hear, then I kind of listen into it though, and I kind of see how if I wanted to rap fast or rap slow or medium level,
Hmm.
and I felt like once I have ideas about how I want to tell it, I'm telling like a story or whatever though, then I kind of write down lyrics and then I practice it a little bit and see how my flow is working. And if I like it, I'll keep what I've written. But if I don't, I'll just change it up a little bit though, just to make it more polished
Okay.
and
Yeah.
whatnot like that. And it also comes with like verses, hooks, intros, outros, and I practice it a couple of times. And once I feel like I got something cooking, I'll practice more, go to the studio, record, and we make something really special about it and make a good song.
Hmm. So before I ask the last question, was
Sure.
there anything else that you want to mention or talk about today?
Sure. Well, just basically wanted to share my journey, not just as an artist, but as a person, because I'm also doing this for my mom, who sadly passed away 4 years ago after a battle with pancreatic cancer. She was diagnosed with the disease when COVID hit 5 years ago, which can't believe it's been that long,
Hmm.
honestly. It's really, again, it shows how far we've come in the world and how fast time has gone, but also just like understand people that I'm an artist that actually cares about their music
Hmm.
and wants to make a difference in the industry and kind of understanding what I'm going through. And while I don't may have like the followers or listeners right now, I definitely believe that based on what we talked about, if I do things the appropriate way
Yeah.
and not again hurt myself financially or
Hmm.
emotionally and find the right people to work with though, because for me, working with the right people, even outside of music, when it comes to stuff in the world when it comes to health,
Hmm.
finances, and a working environment, whatever field you're in. And I feel like if you put me with the right people, if we all succeed, because
Yeah.
one person cannot do this alone. And I know for this music journey, I can maybe write the songs, I can maybe record it though, but it comes to like doing everything like you see like labels do. I
Hmm.
know I can't do this on my own, but I also don't want to, get myself in a situation that could hurt me in the ending.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping and praying, and I want you guys to pray for me that this journey goes well for me and that I can make a name myself, which I definitely truly believe in myself to the very end.
Hmm. Okay. So our last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Well, for me and my life, just work hard, have strong determination to go out there and work the best of my abilities, showcase my talent to the world as an artist, and encourage others to do the right thing, stand up to what I feel is right. Don't feel pressure to do things that you're not comfortable with or you don't know until you get a full answer.
Hmm.
And just have, for me, strong willingness to build strong connections and keep that connections really tight, because I definitely lost some people, whether it's like
Hmm.
a falling out and everything like that, though, that really hurt me. And that's also, if you listen to my EP, one of my songs, Sponsor, is about me cutting ties with an old friend. It's actually based on a true story where we were friends for 16 years since middle school, and we had a falling out because of him having paranoid behavior that
Mm.
he was thinking that I was trying to betray him, which really hurt me deeply,
Yeah.
and I ended up cutting ties with him. But I also wrote a song like showcasing my emotions, but
Yeah.
also thanking him for the good times where I can move on in my life and never forget the memories that we
Hmm.
shared. Will also continue to help me move forward as a person.
Yeah. I love that for you. That you're able to, realize you can move on while loving the good and the bad at the same time.
Absolutely, no question about that.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do, but it's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So for all of our listeners who want to stay updated on you, hear the new music when it comes out, where can they find you?
Oh, sure. Well, they can find me on Instagram and TikTok. It's both socials are at the True Big Jon, and you can listen to my music on Apple and Spotify for more. And just catch up my socials to see more content, more articles I have already published, and lyric videos that I published and posted on both those socials. And just catch up with me on my regular life or whenever I'm doing regular activities.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
All right, of course. Thank you. Thanks for having me along. It was definitely an honor.
Of course, have a nice rest of your day.
You too.
Listeners, go check them out and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok at STO Lives Podcast. Thanks for listening.